Good afternoon, and I will try to be quick because we are running out of time. And I'm here to present the vision image processing or patterns and sound group of our department. Okay, listening to the previous presentation, we have seen that most of the application or real application of seen before are based on visual information. Okay, on visual information. And this is not surprising because for humans as well as for artificial intelligence, the visual channel is the most important. You know that human brain cortex is for more than half part dedicated to the processing of visual information. And it's not strange that also for artificial intelligence, visual processing is of paramount importance. So you are lucky that in our department, if you want to study artificial intelligence, we are a very strong group with a long tradition of researching in visual computing and visual intelligence, because we have our group, VIPS group, that here is represented by Vittorio Murino, Marco Cristani, Andrea Giachetti, myself, Umberto Castellani, Francesco Setti, and Gloria Menegaz, is a group that has a long tradition of research in this domain, with a very strong record of scientific papers and funded research projects. And we have a lot of students on the master degrees and also on PhD. And we have the 3 spin-off of this department were generated by researchers of our group. So we are a very strong group that is involved in many projects in which you can participate, of course, if you follow the master degree in artificial intelligence. Which are the AI topics that are covered by our group? First of all, computer vision and computer graphics, but also fundamental machine learning, fundamentals of machine learning, deep learning, pattern recognition, signal processing and multimedia, and also human-machine interaction that is of paramount importance for the new paradigm of AI, that is human-centered AI, in which we want to create an artificial intelligence not for replacing human, but for empowering humans. So let's see very, very quickly some of the projects that are ongoing in our research group that are projects on which you could participate if you, of course, study in this master degree. First of all, we have a lot of research activities related to behavior analysis, for example, using images and videos, but also multimodal inputs. So it's particularly interesting to analyze not only what is an image, but if we have people study, for example, the behavior of people, not only individually, but also analyzing crowd behaviors. This can be done using also multimodal sensing, can be done on embedded devices, and of course, behavior of humans can be studied also studying medical images or images from neuroscience studies, for example. These studies have a lot of interest also for basic machine learning topics. So because there are studies in which it is necessary to deal with noisy or imbalanced data. It is necessary to adapt learning methods from different domains using supervised and supervised data, because it's difficult to have annotated data and so on. So it's extremely challenging. Other projects are related, for example, to interaction. And we can use AI to create an interactive system that can be used, for example, where it is not possible to use a standard interface, for example, in mixed reality. And we are working on, for example, on gesture recognition, gesture induction prediction, and using these AI tools for developing novel interfaces. Okay, and in the domain of human-computer interaction, AI is not useful only to create novel application, novel algorithms for recognizing action and gestures and developing interfaces, but also to analyze the effectiveness of the interactions, because we can use analytics of user studies based on images and other sensor, visual sensor, for example, body tracking, gaze tracking, and so on. And this is something that we are investigating on. Another application of AI related to visual computing is related to the processing of shape, 3D shapes, not only images. Because, for example, we are investigating on modeling 3D models of humans and animals and so on. And this, in this context, AI is important to create easy to use and effective parametric models describing variation of body shapes and also dynamics of body shapes for animation, for example, for computer games, and also for other application like design, industrial design. We are also working on a pattern design for decoration of 3D shapes and so on, functional shapes and so on. Another interesting application of AI based partially on visual content is related to fashion. We have several projects related to this topic. And here we need to put together several AI-based processing of data, for example, for parsing of human body, pose estimation of 3D bodies, but also for modeling of clothes or modeling patterns of textures of clothes. And this AI processing is used for activity like forecasting, for example, discovering fashion trends or forecasting sales. And the challenging aspect is also that here we have to put together a visual information with non-visual information, for example, textual analysis of texts found on descriptions on the internet, time series, and so on. So we all have a multimodal processing of information. Okay. Finally, trying to be as quick as possible, other interesting projects on which we are working are related to industrial application, because as you have seen before, also in the presentation by EVS, for example, we have several applications in which we need to process visual data for industrial context, for example, for analyzing surfaces, both in 2D and 3D, analyzing materials, and we can use multimodal, multispectral imaging and pattern recognition, of course, AI, to discover and characterize the surfaces. And then in industry, we can use vision also for robotics, for example, for also in this case, we can not only control robots, but also have robots collaborating with other robots and humans, of course. And in any case, we still have the problem of putting together visual information with no visual information to monitor all the processes that are ongoing in the industrial domains. So we have several projects on which we are applying this in practice, and as you have seen also in the previous presentation. Okay. Finally, of course, where can you learn about these tools, these visual computing algorithms? We have, as you've seen, we have several courses in the AI master's program. And of course, you can join these courses, as well also other courses in visual computing we have in other master's degree that you can get as free credits. And of course, you can have a traineeship in our lab because you can do this during your course. Okay, so more or less, I try to be as quick as possible. So 5 minutes, I think that more or less I was sufficiently fast. And thanks for your attention.